Good morning, students, and welcome back for the video class of political science. We are starting with the 19 India's foreign policy. So, in previous video, we seen about importance of foreign policy and how foreign policy has developed up to here. So, we seen in ancient time also number of things. They have their relationships with another countries. We come to know about these relationships by the Kautilya's Arthashastra book, even by Saptanga theory also, when he had mentioned about the 7 important elements of state. In that, Mitra, or which is called as a friend, that is also very important. जब एक देश एक राष्ट्र आपसे बड़ा है, बलवान है, तो एक तो उसके साथ आप युद्ध करके उसको जीतो, अगर युद्ध से नहीं जीत सकते तो उसके साथ मैत्री कर लो, एक संबंध बना लो जिसके कारण वो आपका नाती बन जाएगा, आपका सगे संबंधी बन जाएगा. So that technique was used earlier, but nowadays the friendship is going to be done with the neighboring countries to maintain peace, and which will help for the development of the country. Both. So previously we seen that Chandragupta Maurya, he had a relationship with the Parvatika and Samudragupta. Then we see at the time of independence, Tipu Sultan, he too had a relationship with the Napoleon Bonaparte, who belongs to French. Tipu took help from the Napoleon Bonaparte against the British, because French were against the British in European country. So Tipu took help in India by the Napoleon Bonaparte to defend British, or to defend them. So in this way, in ancient time it was. So at the time of freedom struggle, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Mahatma Gandhi, M.K. Krishna Menon, and number of the political thinkers who came together and they established Indian Foreign Committee. In that, Jawaharlal Nehru's work is very important, who became the spoken man or main person who led our foreign policy. He became the president of Indian National Congress in the year of 1923, in the year of 1936-37, and took very strong decision which made a firm to remain firm for the Indian foreign policy, which is going to against imperialism, colonialism of British. So it was started by Jawaharlal Nehru, later on, who became very important, and he is called as an architecture of Indian foreign policy. So Indian foreign policy, which is known as Nehru's foreign policy also. So in this today's video, we will see what is the importance of Indian foreign policy. Okay, importance. So students, may different special question may ask, write the importance of Indian foreign policy. So these following points you have to explain. So first one is external sovereignty. Previously also we seen about external sovereignty. Sovereignty has two aspects: internal sovereignty, external sovereignty. So what is exactly external sovereignty? That is a complete freedom to the country. country will not remain under any one of the country's hold, or there will not be any kind of imperialism or colonialism. No country is going to rule us. Country is completely free from the outer source, outer force. किसी भी व्यक्ति, किसी भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन या फिर किसी भी देश का हमारे ऊपर कब्जा नहीं रहता. खुद के विकास के बारे में हम डिसीजंस लेते हैं. So that is the external sovereignty. When you are getting a complete freedom, you can have your own foreign policy. So then that country is called as externally free or external sovereign. So this external sovereignty is very important for foreign policy. आप देख सकते हैं कि 1947 से पहले हमारा देश तो था, लेकिन हमें कोई अधिकार नहीं था कि किन राष्ट्रों के साथ हम अपना संबंध बनाए, क्योंकि वो सारा डिसीजन अंग्रेज ही लिया करते थे. उनका ही शासन हमारे देश में था. हमें किसी प्रकार की भी आज़ादी नहीं थी. दैट वाज द बिगेस्ट प्रॉब्लम. सो आफ्टर 1947 वी गॉट द sovereignty and India became completely free. So complete independence we got. So that is the first one. Second one, protection of national interest. Protection of national interest. This national interest of integrity, unity and integrity of country. Which is going to be remain long over. So this unity, integrity, which is kept along different countries' principles, interests and objectives. These are going to be become very important by the foreign policy. For example, we believe in peace and order. We believe in being opposed for colonialism, imperialism. So these are the such principles or objectives of our Indian foreign policy, and these objectives will help us to protect our national interest. We have different kinds of things, like complex forces are there. On these forces, our foreign policy is going to be dependent. Like a complex history is there, a geography is there, then domestic environment is there, ideology and the influence of the national leaders. So these all the things like a history, geography. National leaders, these all will influence on the foreign policy, on the national interest. जैसे महात्मा गांधी एक एग्जाम्पल ले सकते हैं, तो वो बिलीव करते थे पीस एंड ऑर्डर, पीस, नॉन वायलेंस. So definitely these words or these weapons have been chosen in foreign policy. When we keep relationship with another country, it will be friendly, not as like an enemy. Okay, so these all will help to protect our national interest. Even at the time of freedom struggle, it emphasizes the glory of Indian freedom struggle, importance of Indian geographical locations are its economic development. These all the points will help us a lot for the establishing foreign policy. Okay, that is second. Third, peace and non-violence. India, which is known for its culture, it's known by its principles, and these two principles adopted by Mahatma Gandhi. आप देख सकते हो कि पूरा भारत में जो शासन था 1920 के बाद Mahatma Gandhi has entered into the freedom struggle and he started opposing for the British, and two weapons he had used ever. Never he used any violence, never he will go for wrong or which is not framed in the constitutional frame. जैसे मारपीट करना, लड़ाई झगड़े करना, दंगे फसाद करना, इन्हीं के ऊपर, इन मुद्दों पर कभी भी गांधी जी सहमत नहीं थे। तो वो सहमत थे पीस नॉन वायलेंस। वो बिलीव करते थे आपको कोई एक चांटा मारता है एक गाल पर तो अपना दूसरा गाल आगे किया करो, यानी कभी ना कभी वो समझ जाएगा और आपकी मदद करेगा या फिर जो अन्याय हो रहा है वो कम करेगा। सो दिस country where Gandhi, Nehru, these kind of leaders are there that always believe in the peace and non-violence. These two weapons are very important to set your foreign policy, and India achieved independence by using these weapons itself. Got freedom by these Gandhi's weapons. युद्ध में लड़ना है तो आपके पास शस्त्र होने चाहिए, लेकिन फ्रीडम स्ट्रगल में गांधी जी ने जो शस्त्र के इस्तेमाल किए वो थे पीस और नॉन वायलेंस, शांति और अहिंसा, जिसके बलबूते पर अंग्रेजों को उन्होंने देश से खदेड़ डाला और हमारे देश को स्वतंत्र कराया। इसलिए हम आज भी उनको राष्ट्रपिता कहते हैं, फादर ऑफ आवर नेशन। Okay, so this both you will find in the foreign policy of India while keeping relationship with another country. Next one is economic development. Fourth one is here also unity and integrity to keep it. Unity and integrity of the country, if you want to keep along, then it is going to be based on the economic development and political stability, which is going to be ensure this unity and integrity. Without economical development, unity and integrity depends on economic development and political stability. And political stability. Okay, so for that purpose we have these things. Economic development should be done, then only we can get the unity and integrity of the country. All people will get different kinds of facilities. There will not be any kind of aggression on the country, and which promotes, protect the independence of territorial integrity. People will turn towards the wrong path, turn towards the terrorism, because there will not be any political stability and economic development. अगर आपके पास पैसा है, जो चीजें आवश्यक है, वो सब कुछ है, तो आप कभी भी गलत मार्ग पर नहीं चलोगे। इसलिए इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट और पॉलिटिकल स्टेबिलिटी होना बहुत ही जरूरी है। राजनीतिक स्थिरता होनी चाहिए। नहीं तो एक सत्ता गिराने के लिए दूसरे विरोधी पक्ष वाले क्या करते हैं, टेररिस्ट ग्रुप की मदद लेते हैं और इनकी सरकार गिराते हैं। उसके कारण दंगे, फसाद, लड़ाई झगड़ा सब कुछ चलता रहता है, राज्य राज्यों में चलता है, अनेक से धर्मों में चलता है, अनेक से समाजों में चलता है। वो चाहे नाम जाति के नाम पर, धर्म के नाम पर हो, या फिर बाउंड्री के नाम पर हो, या फिर किसी भाषा के नाम पर हो, ऐसे लड़ाई झगड़े दंगे फसाद करवाए जाते हैं when there is a political instability is there, economical inequality is there. So to keep this unity and integrity, economic development and political stability should be there. And this can be established with the help of foreign policy. Next point is special interest of South Asia. Special interest of South Asia. What is the countries comes in South Asia? Like Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, China, Bhutan, Myanmar, Malaysia. Okay, so these are all the countries. Whatever comes in the South Asia, these all are going to be being part of one family. There are the different organizations which are going to be work for the development of South Asia, and India always remain against imperialism, colonialism, even against the racism also. India against colonialism, imperialism, racism, and number of things. Because India is a peace-loving country which is going to be have a friendly relationship, friendship, cooperation with a number of countries which comes in our areas. It is a regional cooperation. Even South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. So these kind of things are there. Together, if we work with unity, definitely there is a development of that area, and friendly relationship will be built up on the mutual respect, cooperation. These things should be there, and India always remain for that, and never India allow any big power. For example, like China, Russia, America, England, these countries are very well known in the whole world, but never India give chance any country to interfere or in our matters. Never India allow them, never give the chance to them to interfere in the internal matters of South Asian countries. Never India tolerate that someone is going to interfere. So we have made, India calls for the making Indian Ocean a peaceful zone. क्योंकि जब कोई बड़ा देश हमारे दो लोगों के बीच में अगर तीसरा आ जाता है तो दोनों के बीच में दरार फिर से बढ़ती जाती है। इसलिए जो भी हमें करना है दोनों को मिलकर करना है, जो भी लड़ाई झगड़े हैं हमें आपस में सुलझाना है सामने बैठकर, ना ही किसी तीसरे व्यक्ति को हमारे बीच में आने देना है। अगर तीसरा आया तो हमारे बीच में फिर से वो दरार बढ़ती जाएगी और उसका फायदा ये तीसरे लोग लेंगे। That's why never India allow third person or any big power to interfere in the matters. Big power to interfere in the internal matters. Internal matters with another country which comes in the South Asia. Okay, so this is about the special interest of South Asia and number of organizations established for that. Against the aggressive attitude. Against the aggressive attitude. India arguments opposed for this all the colonialism, imperialism, racism also. So wherever the problem is there, India first it got freedom, and later on India supported number of countries in the world who are facing the problem of imperialism, colonialism, racism. For that all it has been defended, it had supported those backward countries. Even for the democratic struggle for the national independence and right of self-determination. India support many countries to get freedom. To get independence, to get freedom by the colonialism, imperialism, racism. Mahatma Gandhi had started a movement in South Africa for the racism, for the color discrimination, supporting for South Sudan to get independence. For Sri Lanka, when there was a fight in between two groups, Similians and Tamilians, LTT group. So, like same way, even getting independence from Bangladesh, from Pakistan, India supported in 1971. So, many countries got a help by India, क्योंकि जिसकी जलती है उसको पता चलती है कि जलन क्या होती है. So already India had suffered because of this colonialism, imperialism, racism, by all the things. So India know the problems, how the people will face. That's why it will support for the people and the citizens who are suffering by this all the challenges, all the difficulties. So whatever the aggressive attitude is there in the world that has been banned and friendly relation to be built, cooperation to be done in the world with the different countries, mostly bigger countries or well-developed countries has to support for the backward countries. Then it will be a good atmosphere will be there in the whole world. Now, the last point, that is democratic ideals. Being a democratic country, India always support for democracy, where the people are the rulers and ruled by. So always it will be give importance for human rights. Importance for human rights. That's why human rights have to be accepted in India's constitution. A declaration of human rights which has been done in 1948. So same thing has adopted in the Indian foreign policy. So we always support for human rights and we give importance for the democracy. India always support for that. And to strengthen this, strengthen the countries which are lagging behind. Because what happened at the time of Second World War, whole world was divided into two groups: democratic group, republic group, which were led by Russia and USA. That time India remained as independent and it remained as a third world, and it supported for the countries who are lagging behind, which are economically poor, economically backward. So for that, India started one of the movement which is called as the NAM. Now, non-aligned movement. Now, non-aligned movement, it has been started by India. So by this movement, number of smaller countries, backward countries came together and they gave importance for the economical development to develop themselves with the another countries. So India always give importance for human rights, peaceful way, non-violence way, which against always imperialism, colonialism, racism, after for all the things it will oppose and it will support for peaceful things. Go in a constitutional way with the non-violence way. So this is in brief about the importance of foreign policy of India, which consists of external sovereignty, protection of national interest, peace and non-violence, economic development, special interest of South Asia against aggressive attitude and democratic ideals. So for 5 marks, students, you have to explain minimum 5 points by this all, and it will help you a lot. Okay, so this is the second video of Indian foreign policy. In next video, we'll see there are some characteristics, basic principles of Indian foreign policy that we will see. Now, for this importance of Indian foreign policy, P.V. Narasimha Rao has told one quotation. Just let me know you. P.V. Narasimha Rao has told about the importance of Indian foreign policy. On the foreign policy front, India has been quite alert to the changing global sense. Its relevance has been greatly enhanced in the new context in which independence of decision making is very important. Whenever any country is getting a free, then definitely it is going to take its own decision. It will set its own foreign policy on basis of its customs conditions. क्योंकि हर एक देश का रहन सहन, वहाँ की खान पीन, वहाँ के लोगों के रीति रिवाज, परंपराएं अलग अलग होती है, जियोग्राफिकल कंडीशन अलग होती है, उनकी हिस्ट्री अलग होती है, और इन सारी चीज़ों के ऊपर उनकी फॉरेन पॉलिसी डिपेंड होती है. एंड कंट्री व्हेन इट बिकम्स फ्री, देन इट विल फॉलो इट्स ओन फॉरेन पॉलिसी. ओके, सो दिस इज इनफ फॉर टुडेज वीडियो, where we see importance of foreign policy. In next video we will see about principles of foreign policy. Near about 30 points are there, and those will help you a lot for this 9th unit. So thank you being up to the end of the video, and in next video we'll see about basic principles of Indian foreign policy. Have a good day and all the best.